If sorting still feels risky, there's one feature that can help remove all of the guesswork, and that feature is tables. Today we're using the same grades table as we used in the last video, but this time we're going to help Excel protect us a little bit better. So looking at this grade sheet, sorting worked on it in the last video, but Excel still had to guess what we wanted. Tables remove that guesswork. So if you look at this data, it has student, class, assignment, and score. This data is actually a list of student scores on an assignment. And this is exactly the kind of thing that Excel tables were made for. So the first thing we need to do is convert this information to a table. And that's very easy to do. I've clicked already on the first student, Alex. You can click on any cell in the table. I'm going to click on the Insert tab and choose Table. And Excel finds our data. And if this was not correct, we could reselect, click and drag to reselect and get all of our data, but it's already grabbed all of our data. We do have header rows. So this box is checked, and we would want to make sure it's checked if we have header rows. And then we're going to click OK. So Excel has now converted our data to a table. This is not formatting. We are changing how Excel understands our data. So let's take a look at what happened. Excel added drop-down filters for each of the columns. The header row is now frozen at the top. Each row alternates colors, white and blue in this case. And there's a table design tab that is now available. And we will look at some of those features in just a few minutes. So now sorting becomes a lot easier. We can just click on the drop-down next to score and choose sort largest to smallest, and it sorts our data. There was no need to select anything. It sorted our data. You won't be asked to expand the selection. I'm going to undo quick, but even if I select the score column and choose sort largest to smallest, it doesn't ask me about expanding data because it knows all of that information, the student, the class, the assignment, and the score all belong together. And that's what the table tells Excel. I'm going to undo that one more time. And then I'm going to show you that we can filter in this table. We're going to choose class and just choose math and click OK. And now it has filtered just like when we did the filters before, but now it has filtered on math. Now I'm also going to filter on assignment. I'm just going to pick homework 1 and click OK. And now I'm only looking at math homework 1 assignment scores. So the filtering is now built into the table. I'm going to undo just to get us back to where we were when we started. The next very cool thing about tables is it's very easy to add more information. So I'm going to give Morgan a math score on quiz 1 and 97. And you see it automatically expanded the table to include the next row of information. So Morgan's math score automatically became part of the table just because we typed right underneath the existing data. And I can do that again. And give Jamie a score for Essay 1 in history. So the table grows with the data. So if I click in the table and go to table design, I want to show you that we can add totals. So I'm going to click total row. It adds a row for total, and it has totaled all the scores, which might not make a lot of sense for assignment scores. But what we're going to do is click on this drop down, and instead of doing sum, we are going to choose average. And so now we have an average of all of the scores. And one thing that's pretty cool is if I just want to know the average of all the math scores, I can choose math class again in the filter. And when I filter on that, it updates this average to show you the average of all of the math scores. Let me clear out that class filter. And I am going to choose one student, Alex. And you can see that Alex has an average score in math of 86.5. I'm going to remove the filter one more time. And I want to show you that unlike formulas, where we did the average and we had a range of cells that we selected, and we had cell references like A2 colon A6. When you use tables, column names are used instead of cell ranges. And you don't need to understand how this works. This is something that you will be able to customize completely once you fully understand how tables and column references actually work. There's one other thing I want to show you about tables. You don't have to have the blue table like you see here. If you would prefer a different color, perhaps green, there's table styles, and there's a drop down where you can select from many different table styles. But we are just going to choose this green one. And now I've changed it to green, and it still behaves the same. Basically, tables are really good for anything that is a list of data like this student score tracker. They don't work so well if you have data and numbers in different places and it's not in a nice, clean table format, and that's okay. You don't always have to use tables. So tables won't fix everything, but they do make sorting and filtering and adding totals or averages to your data much, much easier. Excel works a lot better when you give it the structure using tables. In the next video, we're going to talk about when tables are the right choice and when sticking to ranges like you saw in the previous video is a better option. So until next time, I wish you smooth sailing.